Hello, Namaskara. Good afternoon. My name is Shyam Prasad, Secretary in BCIC. I join my President, Dr. N. Ravindra, in welcoming one and all present here for this special address on state electoral process and awareness by Mr. Tushar, Girinath, IS, Chief Commissioner BBMP and District Election Officer, Bangalore. It is our privilege to welcome Mr. Sangappa, IS, Chief Executive Officer, Zilla, President, SVEEP Committee. We also welcome Mr. P.N. Ravindra, IS, Special Commissioner BBMP and welcome Ms. K.R. Pallavi, Joint Commissioner BBMP East Zone. Welcome Mr. Siddeshwar, Nodal Officer, SVEEP Committee. Chief Commissioner BBMP and other officials from BBMP. We thank you very much for accepting our invitation despite your busy schedule. Now I request my colleague Mr. Purushottam to play the BCIC corporate video
for 2 minutes.
For 3 minutes. Yeah, 2 minutes. On behalf of BCIC, I am privileged and pleased to introduce the guest today. Mr. Tushar Girinath holds BE degree in Mechanical Engineering and the MBA in Human Resource Management from Karnataka State Open University, Mysore. He is an IS officer of the Karnataka Cadres 1993 batch. Has held positions in various departments of Karnataka, and to share a few: Planning Director, Viscom, Chairperson of BWSSB. He was the Secretary to Shri Siddaramaiah when Shri Siddaramaiah was the Chief Minister of Karnataka. Mr. Girinath has been honored with Chief Minister's Award for leading best performing public sector enterprise. Mr. Girinath is the Chief Commissioner of BBMP since 2022 and also given additional charge as District Election Officer, Bangalore District. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Sangappa. Mr. Sangappa holds a MS degree in agriculture. Mr. Sangappa belongs to the career of KS officer and promoted to IS officer in 2021. He has been holding various positions in Karnataka state government. At present, Mr. Sangappa is holding the position of Chief Executive Officer in Zilla Panchayat, Bangalore Urban District, and also President of District SVEEP Committee for the coming Assembly elections. Now I request Purushottam to play the video on election icons.
I will just give it.
Last, we'll take it. मैं भारत हूँ नहीं है।
मैं भारत हूँ।
फर्स्ट में भारत हूँ आगे।
I request our president to present a sapling to.
Hi. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I request our president to the sapling to Mr. Sangappa.
I request Mr. Walker to give.
Yeah, Mr. Ravindra. Now I request to present sapling to Mr. Ravindra, a special commission.
Yeah. Very good.
Sapling to.
Go ahead. Sir, Rasta will do it. Come. Ashri, madam, you can also join. First, two lady. Welcome, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am.
I request our president to present a sapling to Mr. Siddeshwar.
Yeah. Sima, sir. Nearby, proximity.
Yeah. I request my colleagues to play with the video on channel.
भारत है मुझमें, मैं ताकत हूँ, ताकत है मुझमें, मैं भारत हूँ, भारत है मुझमें, मैं ताकत हूँ, ताकत है मुझमें। हम भारत को नतमस्तक है, हम योद्धा के दो हस्तक है, हम भारत भाग्य विधाता है, हम भारत के मतदाता है। मतदान देने जाएंगे भारत के लिए, भारत के लिए।
আমি ভারতবর্ষ ভারত আমাতে, আমি শক্তি ধরি शक्ती आमाते। मी भारत आहे, भारत माझ्यात आहे, मी ताकत आहे, ताकत माझ्यात आहे. मतदान मतदान करण्या जाऊ चला, भारतासाठी भारतासाठी. सत्यम भारत शिवम भारत.
भक्ति भारत शक्ति भारत,
रौनक बहारा गुलिस्तान भारत,
हर जन का कल्याण भारत.
मतदान मतदान देने जाएंगे भारत के लिए, भारत के लिए.
भारत छो भारत जे मुझमा, हूँ ताकत छो ताकत छे मुझमा.
मैं भारत हाँ, भारत मेरे अंदर, मैं ताकत हाँ, ताकत मेरे अंदर.
நான் பாரதம் பாரதம் என்னுள்ளே, நான் சக்தியே சக்தி என்னுள்ளே.
నేను భారతుడు, దేశం ఉంది నాలో, నేను బలవంతుణ్ణి, బలముంది నాలో.
ನಾ ಭಾರತ, ನನ್ನಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಭಾರತ. ನಾನು ಶಕ್ತಿ, ನನ್ನಲ್ಲಡಗಿದೆ ಶಕ್ತಿ.
ഞാൻ ഭാരതം ഭാരതമെന്നുള്ളിൽ, ഞാൻ ശക്തിയാണ് ശക്തിയുണ്ടെന്നുള്ളിൽ.
মই ভাৰত, ভাৰত আছে মোৰ মাজত. মই শক্তি, শক্তি আছে মোৰ প্ৰাণত.
মো ভারত মো ভিতরি ভারত, মো শক্তি মো ভিতরি শক্তি. আমি ভোট দেবা বুঝিবা মো ভারত ভারত. দুই भारत छुस भारत सुंदर मन, आख ताकत छुस ताकत पुयागुन.
इंजगे भारत, इंज भितरे रे भारत में ना. इंजगे दाड़ हर, इंज भितरे रे दाड़ में नहा.
मैं भारत हूँ, भारत है मुझमें, मैं ताकत हूँ, ताकत है मुझमें. मैं भारत हूँ, भारत है मुझमें, मैं ताकत हूँ, ताकत है मुझमें. मैं भारत हूँ, भारत है मुझमें, मैं ताकत हूँ, ताकत है मुझमें. मैं भारत हूँ, भारत है मुझमें, मैं ताकत हूँ, ताकत है मुझमें. मतदान मतदान देने जाएंगे भारत के लिए, भारत के लिए.
ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಆಡಿದ್ರೆ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ನಾವು ಗೆಲ್ತೀವಿ. ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ವೋಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಡೆಮೋಕ್ರಸಿ ಗೆಲ್ಲುತ್ತೆ. ಕ್ರಿಕೆಟ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬ ಆಟಗಾರನು ಮುಖ್ಯ, ಹಾಗೆ ಡೆಮೋಕ್ರಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರತಿ ವೋಟು ಮುಖ್ಯ. ನಾನು ಕೂಡ ವೋಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ನೀವು ತಪ್ಪದೆ ವೋಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಡೆಮೋಕ್ರಸಿ ಗೆಲ್ಲಿಸಿ.
ಕಳೆದ ಬಾರಿ ಚುನಾವಣೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಮತ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರಾ?
ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೆ. ಓ ಹಾಕಿದ್ವಿ
ಹಾಕಿದ್ವಿ ಹಾಕಿದ್ವಿ.
ಇದು ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿಯುತ ಪ್ರಜೆಯ ಲಕ್ಷಣ. ನಾನ್ ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗಿ ಮತ ಚಲಾಯಿಸ್ತೀನಿ.
Good afternoon, everybody. Rather than myself giving one-sided talk, I would request you to give your impression as to why we are not in a position to get higher voting percentage. Right now, our objective.
Electoral process.
So now, the purpose of my visit is to tell you, anyway, you are aware that there is something called urban apathy, and the more intellectual and ITBT and industrialist, they may not be giving that much of focus on the voting. The result, we are 55%, which is one of the lowest in the country. 55% of voting in Bangalore city. So this time we are trying to reach some 75% or something. We are trying to elicit as to what are the reasons why the voting percentage remains low. So we would request you to tell us as to what needs to be done from our side to see that the voting percentage is improved. On the other hand, my main purpose is to ask you and your support that all of you become our, like we have our national icon, Rahul Dravid. We have one of the district icons also addressing you. So we have 4 district icons, we have state icons, we have national icon. But all of you are our icon and all of you are our ambassador. Wherever you have to go, you are going either in the workplace or in your neighborhood, you should spread this message that they all have to go and vote. So we would request you to tell us as to what you think need to be done by us to make it more more persons come to our voting booths and polling booth and vote. And from your side, what you will do or you can do. Then we, if you have some apprehensions, etc., and as per your advice, whatsoever you give, I will react at the end. So I will now leave for 10 minutes or so. We can have a discussion as to why it is happening, and we'll ask your views.
Thank you. Thank you, Chief Commissioner, BBMP and District Election Officer, Bangalore District, for being present here along with Sangappa IAS, CEO Zilla Panchayat, Bangalore Urban President Chief Committee, all the other IAS and KAS who are present here. It's a proud moment for us in BCIC for the first time to have so many IAS, IAS officers from BBMP. I'm stormed from all sides with these respectable personalities, so I don't know how to go about. But during the immediate interactions, I'm of the view that we restrict our observations and our comments, which are non-controversial, number one. Number two is make very specific comments rather than any general issues. And sir, BCIC, as you know, 45-year-old history of chamber with past presidents on the right, on the walls. And we have always advocated the principles of ensuring the best of the democratic principles are followed. And this time too, an earnest appeal has been made by us to 950 members, corporate members. Each of the members would have at least 5 representatives minimum. And in the screen itself, there are more than 1,000 who have joined from different companies. Infosys, to the man on the screen is ex-managing director Bosch, who's present here, Mr. Lakshmi Narayan. So such is the kind of personalities that you're going to see on the screen. This is the very vital medium for us to look at the principles of democracy and ensure that the fair and best elections happen this time in Karnataka. And we are there to support you in right earnest. So with these words, I now request each one of you to kindly come online. There are a few people present from the press and media, so kindly ensure that nothing untoward is spoken. And there is no recording happening here, number one. And last but not the least, at the end of the day, sir, we are going to release a one-pager to the press about whatever transpires here. And we request your kind approval for that. With these words, now I hand it over to all my colleagues. Mr. B.C. Prabhakar is Karnataka Employers Association President. And everybody, I mean, there is no set rule, anybody can come in. And at the end of it, we'll give the chance to the people online. Thank you.
I have 4 small observations to make. One is this I appreciate 10th May is not end of week, mid of week. So you have thoughtfully picked that so that people will not go out and stay here. And Bangalore is IT city. And a lot of people, employees work for time from different countries and other banking services and all those things. They can't stop the work. And if they want special permission to work on that day, but they give time for voting, that may be allowed because Section 135 itself, the interpretation given by the High Court, if you give 2 hours time to vote, that should be enough. But employers should ensure that they should vote and work, and only for those wages should be paid. So if they make a special request, I request you to approve it so that political parties or police will not harass them. And shift working. In fact, voting also is important, and producing wealth also is important. After the election timings are over, if they want to work in the shifts, that may be allowed. Because our experience is even after voting time, so they will come and stop the working, and that police may be given instructions. And the last one important thing is it possible to permit employers to pay wages only if the workers have voted? If they are not voted, they don't get wages. So if these instructions are given, then voting also will happen, and lower percentage also will happen. Here's my humble suggestions. Thank you, sir.
Sir, this is Farshram, past president BCIC. One suggestion is in Bangalore city, as you talked about, 55% voting rate is absolutely low. I think all of us are responsible, as you said. The one thought is academia, where the schools and colleges, in fact, the BCIC has a huge membership in terms of academicians. So we'll also spread this message to the college students. I think they can inspire the parents. See, today the culture is the children inspire the parents and they listen. So one such idea is you can approach the schools and colleges across the city. You can write to the principals so that this word of advice can be given to the children and they can put that kind of a peer pressure to the parents. And this video is fantastic. You can also showcase this. Congratulations for this wonderful national integration. Thank you, sir.
Anybody else? You can take the mic and you can pass this on. You just come pass it on.
I'm Grasta, Jacob Grasta. Sir, I have seen you addressing almost all association chambers of commerce. You address PIA, address CASIA, you addressing BCIC, and you addressing FKCC. So one appeal letter from you for all these organizations, so that with your appeal letter, all these organizations can send their appeal letter to all the members to insist on their employees to vote. I'm giving the reason last year it was, I think, 45% or 56% voted, to increase at least to say 90%. Once you make that kind of appeal through the employer to these employees, I think that will give a lot of boost. And I rightly said to Prabhakar, if anybody has not voted, maybe salaries can be cut for that day. And one more appeal, especially for students. Now, I think almost 48,000 extra students have come, which are 18 years old. So the college principals also could be requested an appeal from you, so that all students who got enlisted on the list could also be encouraged to go and vote on that day, so that from all kinds of pressure from every voter who is listed in the voting list, and percentage of voting increases, especially in the Bangalore city, and see whether on the day of voting, the entertainment of facilities could be stopped.
Good point. Good point.
Especially movies and cyber cafes and wherever the young crowd attracts, and even the hotels can be opened after 6 o'clock, so that everybody is insisted on voting. I mean, these are my suggestions. Thank you. Swiggy will be there.
Yeah, good idea to reach the point.
Only only
president of the Jayanagar 7th Block Resident Welfare Association. We had a meeting and to my knowledge, if I am correct, 18 to 25 age voting is only 35 to 40%. I think that is where you will have to act very seriously. And from our association, we have gone to all the colleges nearby from Resident Welfare Association and taken some classes, classes and other things. I think as he told, principals have to be told. And awareness camps we are doing in morning walking, then fields where a lot of cricket matches are being held in Jayanagar, especially in area. We have addressed many areas, many places like that. I think 18 to 25 is the population which if we take care of them, that they should come and vote. I think a lot of headache for you will be solved. That's a very important aspect. Thank you.
My name is Ravindra. I'm also the Vice President for Resident Welfare Association for HPR layout. So it's a wonderful initiative of BBMP to have a discussion with the various industries and chambers of industries and commerce. I suggest if something like this can also be initiated with various RWAs, may not be physical, and we can call all the RWAs for a virtual meeting and we can discuss. That could actually help. Second point basically is the issues what I have seen some of our residents in our area actually have faced with respect to location of the polling booths. If there is any way we can communicate the Google location of the polling booths, I think that also can help in reducing the confusion and people can actually reach there. So these were 2 points from my side. Thank you.
Dr. Krishna Kumar, I'm asking for this particular 1 month, have holdings all across appealing people to vote, because we don't see any holdings or something that if it is very blaring, attacking type of holdings, every day we will be seeing that as we drive across, and it's entire, all the holdings are anyway property of BBMP. So it's going to be a wonderful message across that can be given to people. Who's the?
So good afternoon, Vishwas Reddy here. Just wanted to check if any postal ballot is allowed for people who are working outside Karnataka. Some in places like Hyderabad, Delhi, Bombay, we see a lot of software engineers working there. They may not be able to come here to vote. Is there any possibility that that can be done there?
We'll answer everything at the end.
Thank you, sir.
Anybody else? So after this room is over, you have to go online.
So good afternoon. My name is Murli, presenting Bidadi Industry Association now. I think most of the points are covered. My simple request to you is from BBMP for Bangalore citizens. If a short video of 1 minute or 1.5 minutes is done, and also you address in the video that can be circulated to all the members starting from
4 videos, 4 or 5 videos.
In WhatsApp that can be circulated.
30-second videos are there.
Yeah,
Let me share it with you.
That's
Our icon, one of them we showed.
Yeah.
There are 4 or 5 such
small
ones, which you can decide and we'll share with you.
Namaskaram. So I have disturbed you a lot of times when I was the president of KPC Layout Association. You only helped to get the PWCP covery water there. When I was the president there, I met you several times. Thank you so much. Now in our layout, it's a big layout. About more than 800 houses are there. Most of them are outsiders. Only 250 votes are there. More than 1,000 people are staying there. So that is the reason that the voters percentage is less in our area. So I don't know to say about what should be done. Last time, my wife and myself, we voted 3 times. But at the last minute, my wife's name was deleted. I went up with the previous and everybody. Then again, I made one, I did done it. So that's okay. 3 times you voted. 3 times you voted. No, I'm done. 3 times. Yeah, 3 terms you voted, but suddenly it was disappeared. Okay. Not there. Okay. Next thing, what we are going to do. So you asked that. Now only that through our association, we would send already we had several meetings as sir said. Several meetings, everybody should come and vote. If they don't have the voter ID, we conducted several meetings, and we also helped to the BBMP. We made the voter ID card. And now we are also sent everybody to messages through our association that the voting date and the previous date, the importance of voting and why they have to vote and when they have to vote and what are the polling booths that we are going to do that. Thank you.
Anybody else?
So my name is Amit.
Yeah.
And I represent Bangalore area, which is Bombay area. I've got 2 points. My observation, what has happened is that especially new settlements, most of the people are from different states. And they generally have their voting IDs of a different state altogether. And I've seen recently in the past 1 or 2 months, a lot of requests come in that how do I vote over here? And so this is one perennial problem. They're not able to solve it. We've tried to do it, but then again, it's been there. Second point is that people who have got voting, cards from Bangalore or local area, the issue is that how do people know which polling booth they need to go? At times what happens is if people are not aware which polling booth they need to go, then what happens? They just lose interest and they don't go at all.
Yes, understood.
Is there a way to communicate?
Yeah, I will come to that. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So this room is done.
Yeah.
Now
Online.
Ms. Lakshmi Narayan, sir.
Unmute. So you're on mute.
He has to unmute.
Okay, is it better now? It's okay?
Yeah.
Oh, first of all, I'm a Bangalorean by birth and I've been here for a long time, and I shifted from Baswangudi to Indiranagar to Koramangala, and now from Koramangala, I'm now living in Jigni area. I must confess, as far as the voter ID registration or getting the voter registered this time was fantastic. There's a gentleman who came down, and we are almost about 80 houses here. And the way seamlessly I got my voting card was incredible. The power of the IT or the power of the commitment of the people, I would say that has really helped us a lot. Now, I just come down to this point of voting. One of the good things that BC also said was to get the people to feel ashamed if they don't have the black mark on their finger. And this is something which all of us have to do, and ask them to show it. If they don't have it, get them to feel that they have not done something which is okay. But more importantly, I would say, please, let's use the power of the social media, because I think that is where majority of the people are going through, either through their smartphones or the internet or the laptops or whatever it is. And especially those people, because the migrant labor in India in Bangalore is so high, I'm sure that you will find ways and means of communicating to them that a migrant population in Bangalore is not something that will take you away from voting, and that you have got systems that are available for ensuring that they get their votes. But otherwise, I would say that the Election Commission has completely done whatever they can. It's only all of us who got to feel that our vote counts. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Om Prakash.
So Om Prakash. Mr. Om Prakash. You are sure to unmute.
To unmute.
Have you locked it or what?
No.
Yes.
Good evening, everybody. What I'm going to talk is about the domestic help and the lower, group income. People travel to their hometown, especially people from practical purpose they live here. But when it comes to voting, whenever there is an election happening in their state, they go there and vote and come. I do not know whether they are also voting here.
Okay.
This is something which is very strange. In fact, in those days, you would not get any servant maid working here if she is from Tamil Nadu or Andhra.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Is that all?
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Prashant Gokhale, Madam Indra Menon, Mr. Ravi, anyone wants to ask a question or any observations that you have for betterment? Somebody has lifted their hand. Please come.
I mentioned it on the chat box. I'm Prashant. Good afternoon. I'm saying that since the voter ID mobile numbers are linked, is it advisable that we send the short teasers and videos and messages through the mobile? So it will come to each one of us, and mainly with the newcomers who are 18 plus, because it is our duty to for our children to do that. But if it comes to them, they also feel that something happens. And on the day of voting, again telling them this is a booth, and then making something, have you voted, on a direct on a mobile phone, which is everybody carries, not necessarily on a laptop, but on a mobile phone. Because I know now the mobile numbers are linked with the voter ID. And it was so easy to do any changes on online. I never had that experience in last 30 years that you can do such a seamless job in changing anything, going to the portal and do it. And after that, you actually get a card at home. That was an absolute pleasant surprise to see the voter card at home, which is having 100% correct information. Excellent job.
Anyone else? Mr. Vinod Kenny?
There's a question in the chat box.
Please read it out.
From Mr. Raghavan of Concentia. He says, can Election Commission bring a rule to close all resorts and guest houses on the date of voting?
Similar. Very good. Then the business laws. Anybody else?
One more suggestion.
Yes.
You know, there are community living, more than 500,000 people community living flats system. Yes. There is an association. If, for example, say by 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, from that flats are not voted, can you make some provisions to send a message on their mobile? In your mobiles are added. So you are not still voted. You please come to voting booth so and so and so before 5 o'clock and
trying to do that.
Yes,
but I think it will be difficult. This time.
Or no, send to the association. Each flat has an association. Can be sent to the association so that association people can remind them.
Okay. So if there be no questions, we are closing the question box now and over to the Chief Commissioner. So please take it.
Thank you very much. And very, as expected, you had asked all very thought-provoking questions. Now I will try to answer, and with that answer, I will also keep on cajoling you to be our partners in this whole exercise. We start with sir. As per the Act, the person who is a voter has a right to get the paid leave, a voter. Now, if you have from different states people working with you and they are not enrolled in that voter list, they actually do not have that right. It's not a general right on that day. But for all practical reasons, it happens like that because we ask, and then it will be difficult for you to prove no majority were from Odisha and Bengal and they were not registered here. So 50% are not coming, let other 50% also not coming. But if you are having a continuous processing industry, the only assumption is that it should lead to a huge loss if you give the leave. That is the word, actually. It is not defined properly. So we expect that the continuous process where it will be get disrupted, vagara. There you have to see that those who are not the voters on that day, if they are working on that, that should be sufficient. Other operations can stop. So if it is very, very critical and the whole industry will suffer hugely, if everybody goes out, then you have that type of flexibility to say that under the Act, it is for the voters. It doesn't say if the voter goes and vote. That compulsory voting aspect, see, the coercion is somehow not there in our system. So we are not in a position to say that, and we will not be saying that, and we will be actually stopping people from doing that. Is if you do not come and vote, I will cut your salary, or I will not. I will see that some repercussions happen in the monetary terms. But you have your way of review, etc. You can always say that I trusted, I gave so much messaging. Even then, as a character of the person is like that, you give some half star, 1 star, 2 star, whatsoever is your review system, which is very prominent. It is less prominent in government, but it is actually more prominent in the private sector because you keep on reviewing your employees. So that type of system you can always build in. We are also discouraging the incentive part, saying that if you go and vote, I will give you 100 rupees, because that can be misused and can be treated differently for a bribe or something. Gifts and this monetary, if you come, yesterday somebody was saying I will give 500 rupees, etc. That we are discouraging. We are only requesting you, since till the time our parliament resolves that it becomes mandatory practice, we have to only put a social pressure, as Lakshmi Narayan sir was saying, that if you do not go and vote, there is a social stigma. That type of environment has to be built. In that social thing, we feel quite, incapable as a government or as a public local body or something. We feel, we will not be able to penetrate to the social level and bring that type of revolution. Since you are the leaders and you have large number of public spirited persons, employees and employers themselves, you can spread this thing in your workplace, so you can have voter awareness forum. Because I found that they were discussing all sorts of things, that how to select the candidate, etc., which is not my domain. And that is your voter awareness forum, that what rights of a voter is, and how the voting processes and electoral processes are, and how you can get yourself registered, because a lot of worry is about registration also. I am not talking about registration now because all registration processes are over. 10th was the last date for submitting all sorts of forms. So that is over. I am more talking about those whose name appears, the persons whose name appear in the electoral roll. They have to come and vote. So our concentration on, if the person's name is appearing in the electoral roll, he or she should come and vote. Those who have been missed out, okay, next time we will try to do it, because parliamentary elections are coming up. BBMP elections are due. So the same electoral roll will be used for those also. So it would be very, very important that those who have missed out, that somehow their names are included, but this is not the time now. We are right now focusing on the campaign to see that the voting percentage increases and more people come to the polling station. So wages part, I think it is a paid holiday. It is holiday to the voters. Voters may have to go back to their place and vote. That is why it is 1 day full holiday. Because maybe they are going out of station, they have to come back. That is why this 1 day leave is given. Right now, there is no such provision of cutting the wages, etc. And I would request you not to. Now, so far as the employer should pay only when they vote. No, I will say that you please say that his personality has to be developed or something. You write some positive type of thing, even when you are saying negative. That type of review you can do. Now, academia and college students. So one very heartening thing is that this time we have doubled the number of 18 to 19 voters. If you see that in 2018 elections, we have only 70,000 young voters, 73,000, 74,000. We are now touching 1,30,000-35,000, which is almost doubling the numbers. We had done a lot of exercise. We had gone to the colleges. We took the whole list of all PU and college students, found that 40% are registered somewhere else outside Bangalore. So 60% we targeted. We have around 4,000 electoral literacy clubs, and we have presence in all the colleges. We will go again, and maybe we will have to put our posters, etc. Siddeshwar, we have to do something, and those colleges again we have to run a campaign. We will put our posters, etc. and our material. We are very happy because a lot of material has been prepared by the Election Commission and ourselves. We are very happy to share it with you, and also RWAs. We, as somebody was discussing, he is also RWA and Tavunu Kudaidiri. RWA associations in 8 zones we have gone and addressed. I have gone in 6 zones. 2 zones, Dasarhalli and Aranagar, I could not go. 6 zones we have addressed. We first, before the election itself, on 29th, when the election was declared, we had already planned a talk with 4,000 members. 4,000 RWAs are there, and they have been registered, and we have some knowledge because of COVID. During COVID time, we collected their information. So somehow on the same day, the elections were also announced. The first meeting happened on 29th itself at around 12:30. Election Commission announced at 11:30. So RWAs are with us. We are going and discussing with them. After that RWA meeting where they asked many questions and we have replied, they have become very active partners. They are doing something in their area because RWA is representing some 100 apartments or something. Those apartment president, secretary have their own role and scope in the whole thing. They have to organize some competitions among the students. So Iga Tamgotide that it is a Besge Kala and the Raja is also there. So students are all now free. So children can be asked to participate in various competition. You can honor them. The material which you prepare, if you share with us a good song or a good poster or a banner writing or a good painting, if that is shared with us, we will be spreading it across the city. And if it is very good, the state will also honor. So that way, if we have two-way communication on the materials, some sort of understanding, we will of course write an appeal, and you can also that is of course in our understanding. But without waiting for that, you can start writing to your employers. A lot of things you can do. First, you can have a voter awareness forum in your place, and you start putting some posters, etc. You can start putting some pressure. Then those persons whom you have identified can take it down up to the lowest level of employee, and also in the households. RWAs, you must be like they are in dual role of RWA. You are also an active participant in your colony. So people listen to you. You are leaders. So if you come, if you start putting pressure, maybe both at the workplace and at the home, then it would be more likelihood of people turning out on that day. So that is our request. We will be communicating to you. I will request that all the email IDs and phone numbers, etc., are collected and given to us. BCIC, you can give all this material you have given.
Yes, it is here.
Okay, so all the members each must be having some establishment. All the members' name and if we have got email, you can yourself distribute.
Sure.
To your 4,000 members,
Sure.
etc. If you can
We'll also put it in our website also.
you put the website. You do it from our side also. We'll try to reach. The idea is that since we are burdened with so much of work at the time of election, we are requesting your help in reaching out to people. That is the whole idea. Appeal letter we will send. College also we will again concentrate. It's a good idea. Again, we should renew our links with the college principals, etc. Entertainment and restaurants, whether they should be stopped or not. So I have been requesting the Hoteliers Association, and we are writing letter to hospital and hoteliers that allow everybody to go and vote. Actually, it is a holiday on that day, to run with the minimum establishment during the voting time and see how it can be done. You cannot stop because people may say that I have gone now, I voted now, I don't have anybody in my house, I have to eat. Right to food is also one of the fundamental rights. Right to livelihood, which means right to have food. And I don't have anybody in my house to cook, so I have the right to go and eat. That way, it will be very difficult to cut the restaurant, etc. But maybe the only thing is to bring a social awareness and pressure. We bring so much of awareness that everybody feels like if you do not do, then it is a sort of shaming. Moving after putting our advertisement we are putting. The DC is also writing to all the
IPL. It will be great actually.
So what happened? IPL we have put our this thing outside. Inside there are some legal issues on their advertisement rights, etc. So they display that our video in the intermission. So they take it to their studios where they know persons are talking, etc. If you are sitting there, you will see. But if you are sitting in your living room and watching it, you will not see. That is having an impact only to the stadium. We are talking to them. 18 to 25, you have rightly said, we have missed out our voters between 18, 19 to 29 and also 29 and beyond also we missed. So that those persons this time we have concentrated, and there is an increase in number up to the age of 29. We were missing 20 to 29 and also 18 to 20. So we have put some campaign and done a lot of work on that. To tell you in brief, we were last year, every January we publish a hard copy, which we call as final draft, which is not a final thing. You can keep on including your name in the voter list. till the time of last day of nomination, which happens to be 20th. If you have to add your name to 20th, then you have to give your application by 10, then only it will happen. So other than that, this period of election, you are free to give your application and it will be continuously updated. The electoral roll gets updated continuously. Last year, 1st January 2022, the number of electors in Bangalore were around 95 lakhs. What happened then? We deleted 6 lakh. Because first time the AI was used to find out the photographs. Earlier they were using demographic similarities. If they will not see your photo, they will see whether Tushar Girinath is appearing 2 times. Tushar Girinath, son of Kashinath, will appear 2 times. As soon as they catch it, they will tell us. And we were supposed to go and verify, etc. But this time it is not like that. We are now having photo similar entities were found out, and then the field verification was done. And though there was a lot of hue and cry, it was re-verified. In 3 constituencies, we delayed the publication of the final roll, and only 2 to 3% wrong deletion had happened, which we have rectified. So to give you a perspective, 6 lakh we deleted because they may not be there, and 3 lakh we added. Net to net, we were minus 3 lakh. 92 lakh voters as on 1/1/2023. From that time to this time, 5 lakh voters have been added because of elections. So 5 lakh more voters, that means more epic cards, new epic cards have to be generated. Epic cards are being printed and they have to be distributed, as few of our respected members were saying that they are receiving those cards. Now they are being dispatched by the India Post. So that process has started some 15 days back because we could get all those printed. Till 13th, we have printed 13th of this month, whatsoever has come. Now we will print another lot, 20th. So what I'm saying, there is a lot of work has been done for the 18 to 25 to increase their numbers. That is why we are seeing a lot of numbers increase in the 18 to 19, also from 20 to 29, which were missing. What happens, people, unless they get married or something, it seems, they're coming from outside, they don't consider Bangalore as their place. So I think that is why 30 to 40 years, we are getting correct numbers. But 20 to 29 and up to 35, we are not having enough of, so the demographically, it should reflect more electors. But we are not having those numbers. They are missing numbers. We are concentrating on that and we are trying to do this. Somebody comes from outside, then he doesn't feel settled. I think he purchases a house, then only he feels settled or something. Otherwise, it is not required. Your purchasing of house is nothing to do with your registering yourself as a voter. As somebody was saying, somehow it has to be spread that all those persons who are coming from different states should feel that they should immediately get themselves registered there. They go back to vote. I think, I do not know. Some people they go up to Wapas, Bengal and Bihar, etc. They are voting.
Attractions.
That I will not say now. Yeah. So what I'm saying is that we have to change that perception, because the voting right has been given as per your residence, our way of voting. That is slightly different from any time, anywhere voting from wherever, and for I do not know for which constituency also will be an issue. So we are not online, and we are saying that the place where you reside is the most important place for you, and you should vote there. It is very easy to shift the vote because everything has been made online. 90% of our operations are now online. Earlier, people used to go to house, give some paper, etc., take signature, and then the political parties used to get involved, and only the leaders were taking care, and certain party persons are coming and they are only getting you some epic cards, etc. That is not the case now. That is not the case now. So now what happens is most of our operations are through a VHA, Voter Helpline app. That is very, very important app. Please download that app immediately. It is very, very easy. I'm coming to your location of your voter ID, where it is. So if you do the VHA and put your epic number, it will show you what you are as far as we are concerned. What your name, your father name, your age, your polling station, your part number in electoral roll, your serial number in electoral roll, which are all required. A part of it is required when you go and vote. If you just scribble that, I mean just press your number, you get all the details. If you just scribble it on your white paper and go and show it to your polling officer, he will be immediately able to locate you in the voter list. Otherwise, it takes a lot of time to locate. That is the only problem. That is why they say you come back with a voter slip. Otherwise, voter slip is not in the constitution. That voter slip idrene you can vote. Atra illa. So the voter, it is for your mental satisfaction and for that person to quickly come to that name. So allow you here you take the signature, put the mark, all that. For that purpose, if you see this voter helpline app, the search option madipa. So it will come. It comes only with your OTP vagara. It is slightly secured. If you do this, it will give you all details of your polling station. You can also search where it is located. That also is provided. That is in your hand. Since you are important persons, you can tell this to all your employees and etc., and they can do this. Other than this, where the polling station is located will be known also through the voter slip, which will be distributing you. We are trying to distribute you 10 days in advance. So we are starting our work by 27th of this month and trying to see that by 1st or 2nd of May, you should see the voter slip. Voter slip is being distributed by our BLOs, our booth level officers. Earlier, there were some lack of numbers in booth level officers. They used to do some job. They will give something to somebody, some revenue officer will come. He doesn't have time to either he will give to the Resident Welfare Association or give to somebody who will just distribute. This time we are supposed to take signature. We are printing the registers and trying to take the signature of each individual, the household. Each individual kashta irutte illa anta household nalli at least obardu signature idre, that is sufficient for us to consider that it was duly served. So that is very, very important thing is VHA app. In this app, I have tried to tell you because how to get the enrollment done, but enrollment, though it is not a very important aspect at this point of time. If you take this, there are different forms. If you are a first time voter, you will go for form 6, which is inclusion. Earlier, there was a form 7. Form 7 right now we are using only for dead voters. Earlier, you used to go and first give a form for deletion of your name, and then form 6 for addition of your name somewhere else and somewhere. Now form 8 is being used for migrating you from wherever you were to the new place where you have gone. Form 8, if you put, that will immediately start, you can start tracking your application. It shows from where it has gone, from your ERO, it has moved to the BLO has completed the field verification. You can track. There is a reference number coming. So form is very easy. And that has made the life very, very easy for the people to shift their votes from wherever in India to this place. And earlier you were used to give an affidavit that I have got my name deleted, but nobody used to get the name deleted there. They were just giving an affidavit. That is why names were appearing in 3-4 places. And nobody used to bother because deletion is a difficult exercise. So you delete one, then you run into some problems. So deletion were never done. That is how the voters are having 3 to 4 places. I think only parliamentary election, if it is done at the same time. Otherwise, parliamentary election also happens in phases. You can move from one place to other place and all that. But anyway, for our state right now, it is one day. It is very difficult. And then the mark will be there. So we are now running that AIML type of thing to the whole database. First, we ran within the constituency and deleted 6 lakh. Now the next round, which we are saying Karnataka state and various other districts, we have got 3.5 lakh, but we are not touching them. We will touch them after the elections are over. Then it will be run close to the other states. The database is high, it runs, takes time and power. So that across the state, if you find that Bangalore will surely be reflecting in voters will be reflecting in Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu and all this. So that we will do an exercise immediately after that by running that. And that will answer the question whether they are still voting at 2 to 3 places. They are going to other place, and here also they are registering, and you are giving, I think, paid leaves for 2 times. But it will be surely be stopped. Slowly the improvements are happening, and it will surely be stopped. You can be at one place, and that as soon as you put this back end, the deletion form is generated. And it will be intimated to that electoral registration officer in Murshidabad or Kyunjhar or some place where they will delete it, and here will add, then they will delete. That it is not that you are deleted and you are nowhere. So to make it fail safe, first you will be added here, and that intimation is anyway online. It goes and falls in the ERO of that area. he has to dispose it off. So that will happen. So what I was trying to tell you, now the inclusion is very easy. The change of residence is very easy. Correction is also very easy. You want to change your mobile number, you want to change your any of the details wrongly done, except for your own name, which you know, at one point here and there, Tushar Girinath or Girinath maybe can be rectified, I think. But if you tell my name itself is changed, then it is a bit of a problem. And lost, then after that, what happens? You can see the epic. As soon as it is done, what will be printed in the EPIC, your voter ID card, there is an e-epic option there in the VHA. It will show this is your epic. You have not received it physically, but this is what will come on that. Literally, if you are thinking that it is something, you can again check their date, etc. Earlier, the manual to this thing entry used to be happening. Still, if you do a manual form, it has to be entered physically. That is how sometimes the age is shown differently. Somebody yesterday was telling me in Kasia that he is 1968 and his wife is shown 1958 and he was feeling bad. I told him that I am 54. My wife is shown 27 years of age. She is very happy. So the reverse is also true. She is not asking for correction. I have again asked her and now we have corrected also. So but I am saying correction is also very easy. You can get
not really 24, sir.
Not really 24. Since 1972, I think it is sacrilegious to tell a date here, but anyway. So that is how it has happened, sir. But you can do the corrections very easily. Sometimes what happens, we in the typing, etc., whatsoever from manual to this, it is our responsibility. But when you are yourself typing, somebody has misunderstood the question. And the father has come as the son. So then what is the relationship between this and that? You wrote father. So that lady, one lady tweeted that I have become father, this mother of my father or something. She has done like that. It was electronically. We have not checked anything. We will not see what you are claiming as your father and mother. So that has happened. So when you're typing, etc., see it. And if you want some correction can also be done. But now correction cannot be done since that on the day the elections were announced, we are only doing the migration part. Till from 29 to 10th, migrations were allowed. So that is it. VHA app will be keeping you in a very good state. Now the epic cards are coming to you. No problem, sir. I will take more time. How many minutes I have spoken? 46 minutes I have spoken. So now for the epic cards, there had been a lot of concern on the epic cards. Earlier, your cards were found with some BLO who was not distributing. Secondly, it was getting distributed only when some person took care, some political party and all that. So government, the election commission had a review of this and decided that it can only be done through the India Post. Now that is being done by the post office. If the distribution is not happening because of certain reasons, and reasons are recorded that you're not found, then only our BLO will give. So your epics are now being done through the process of postal department, and which has been very effective this time because we are finding out, we are dispatching and we are asking the feedback, how many you have distributed and how many are remaining, because it is our responsibility to get it done. So the epic cards are being distributed. If you don't get epic card, you can download the e-epic card, but that will not substitute this card. You have 12 other documents. So even if you do not have a voter ID, so long as your name is appearing, which you can find out from VHA, or a voter slip, which will be given by us 10 days in advance, or the political parties will also give you that slip. You have to produce a driving license or adhere card, etc., and you can vote. So voter ID is not compulsory for voting. Your name should be there. E-epic is only for your mental satisfaction that my photo will come like this. Somehow I didn't get. And if you go to the polling booth, they will be also understanding that he got the epic and his photo is matching somehow. So they will be asking you less questions. That is it. But you cannot download and go because mobile, though you may be keeping and putting on flight mode, etc. Every frisking is not possible there. So, but you are not allowed. Once you are taking out your mobile, people, polling officers may take it out from you. So you cannot just download and go there and show them, see that is like that, etc. Because that is not allowed. Take a print out and then go. But you have to take the one of those 12 documents. That is on the epic card. Don't have any such type of mental thinking. I lost it, it got burnt and all that. It is can be easily taken care of. Migrant laborers and population, again, as I'm telling you, it's very easy. We have to spread that voter awareness. So if you put the voter awareness forum and show them this, get this thing done, voter ID and all that, ask them to just apply. You can facilitate them that you can do like this. If you teach them, they will do it. So once they do it, they will automatically, their name will get deleted backside. They cannot go then, and those who are asking them to come and vote will understand that they are no more there, so they will not ask them to come. That is the enrollment part. The domestic help, there is one problem. Domestic help may not be able to show an address proof. So if they have taken a rented accommodation, etc., that is good enough for Adhara and good enough for us. And as Adhara also is not asking you for how many months you are residing, as soon as you come here and start having some sort of tenancy agreement and start paying the electricity bill, that is good enough for us to understand that you are a resident here. And since, as I told you, that whole process is dependent upon place of residence, because the maximum stake is where you are. So the local body will be there, the state government will be there, and the parliament, of course, is common for all. So that area development is the most important aspect. That is how the persons whose future is in this city should immediately get themselves a voter ID card of this city. You can also press for that. That is the time will come after this election. Right now, you go and see that they vote. So this hometown thing is now very easy to get it changed. Messages on mobile we will try to do from our database. One day before we'll send, this is your polling station, etc., etc. Please vote. Dynamically, how many have voted and how many have not voted, and to get that number, mobile number is there. Very important thing has been told, but it will be very difficult to develop an app which will keep on dynamically tracking as to how many have voted and which are the phone numbers which have not voted, and keep on sending that information. That is a bit of a difficulty right now. That is how it is not done. Anywhere voting on digital voting, etc. Again, the parliament has to decide. It will happen after a lot of advancement, because we are mainly concerned about the secrecy of the vote and a vote which is free from all inducements. Right now, the state has not come where we are very confident that our voters cannot be induced. So there is a bit of a concern on that. But as we develop as a democracy and as a society, etc., this may not be relevant after maybe 20 years. But let us see. If it comes early, it is a good thing for us. But it is the parliament which will decide on that aspect. So that is it. Many voters are outside, and how do they vote? And that was the question. Right now, even for a foreigner, we have not allowed them to come to the embassy and put something there, or neither we are saying that you can do online. Your address shown here, though you are overseas citizen, will be the place where you can vote. That is the only thing we can do. Postal ballots also cannot be given. Postal ballots are given to the service voters and the persons who are in election duty, and now first time for 80+ voters and the physically handicapped, physically differently abled, financially differently abled persons. We are issuing the postal ballot after taking their consent. We have sent them by post our 12D forms, manually, house to house. We have gone and given their 12D form in which we have taken their consent. We have now found, and she is the nodal officer for seeing that the postal ballot for 80+ and PWD voters, around 9,200. Yesterday, I thought it is 8,900, but final figure is 9,200 persons have opted for this type of voting, which will be completed 1 week in advance from the date of polling. So, but we have to
80+, we have to register, or you will?
We have come the residence 80+, door to door, shown the form, taken the consent, whether you would come to our polling station or we should come to your house. They say come to our house only, then we have to go with the postal ballot. We have to videograph, photograph, and then come back. But they should it should be from a distance where it should not be visible as to whom they are marking.
How many days prior, sir?
29 to 6th, sir.
29 to 6.
29.
2/6, sixth.
Yes, 29 to 6.
29 to 6, we will be coming there. So that is, we have to go make some mobile teams, they will go and will collect this 9,000 votes beforehand. Then those who are on election duty, we are trying to say that in each of when they are going on election work, we will be able to take it, issue them also and take their signature also on the same date and the postal ballot in the same mustering place, what we call. So they will be given postal ballot and this 80+ in PWD. We are happy that because our idea is that if they come to the polling station, it is a matter of pride for us that they came all the way and voted. And it is an advertisement for the democracy. We request them to come. But if they are not in a position to come, that is the exceptional case. That should not be the norm, is what we say.
How is the secrecy maintained in this, sir?
So they have to vote. I mean, we will give you this. You will vote there. We will be at a distance that you are not being. You capture your surroundings.
Dropped into a box?
Yes, that will be put in an envelope, sealed and given.
Thank you.
They're going with a box or they're taking an.
No, sir, they will give the covers. They will only cast their vote and they will give it back.
Yeah. Okay, so
please ensure wheelchair and ramp in all the booths. It's not there.
That is assured minimum facility. We at this time commission has said that you cannot make temporary arrangement of ramp. So for the private schools, we have asked them to put their own ramp. For government school and BBMP school, we have done our ramps. So it is 100% done. And because of summer, we are putting some shamiana and all that pandal, and the people can wait for some time. We are developing 2 apps, one queue app and one is parking app, because people do come with their car, etc. And then there is a lot of feeling that where would we park and how will we. So we have large clusters in city. Mainly the booths are located in a building where 2, 3 or 4 will be hosted. On an average, it is 2.5 or 2.6. That means around 3 are located per location, 3 polling booth in one place. So we are trying to locate the parking, whether it is private land or our land, taking over that land and making the lot properly so that you can park the things, park your car, and also give you real-time information about the situation of parking. How many are occupied, how many are open, etc. Similarly, for the queuing, we are developing an app, queuing app, which is already developed, tested. Now we will launch on that day. Let us see what happens. Please come and vote in your car. You can come.
Sir, coming to statistics, what is the number of polling stations and how many people are going to be employed for the polling duty?
Okay, 8,615 we said, but now we are touching 9,000 because once you go beyond 1,500 numbers, we have to increase one more polling station. We do in the same location, one more room, because it helps us also to reduce the queue, more polling station. 9,000 is what we are expecting now. We are 1,500. If we take, it will become 9,400. But we have requested the election commission to make it 1,600. We will not change. Up to 1,600, we'll retain one polling station. They have last time allowed 1,600. So this time also, it's a 1,600. This thing. 9,000 polling station. If you take, then we require around 45,000 people. 45,000 people are being taken. And since we have to first take the government and then local bodies, then the central government, etc., etc. So your and your employees are not taken. But actually, if you see, even drivers we have taken. So the persons, we have not taken vehicle of officers, etc., but we have taken their drivers. So they are saying, what is it? It is some sort of panchatantra. You have taken, called for some party and not given the food. So this is the situation right now. Last year, absenteeism and this was so much that we have to send the people from the reserve of the other district close by Ramnagara and Bangalore rural. We have to catch the people and bring them here. This time we do not want to do this. That is why we have enrolled almost everybody. Everybody, this and reserve, and the drivers will become the polling officer 3. We don't mind even Group D to be made a polling officer. And at least he will feel pride to be a polling officer. Others are only cribbing that you have made me PRO. I am very senior. But Papa, that Group C and D will be happy to become the polling officer. So we are doing that. 45,000 people are involved. Then since we are expenditure sensitive, 28 of our constituencies or 21 have already become expenditure sensitive, and we may increase that number after this list. Tomorrow we'll come to know who is contesting and all that. So for that, we have to make more arrangement. Then we have mapped around 25% polling stations as critical. That means they can come under some influence, either of money or of some important person or something. For that, more paramilitary forces are given. So that is how they are coming. Those polling stations, we have to put a web camera and cast the whole this thing. 50% of our polling station will be webcast, so that you can see what is happening. And expenditure observers are already there. 24 expenditure observers have come. Since all expenditure sensitive place, we have to give them 2 assistant expenditure observers. If you add all that, we are around 50,000 or 55,000 people will be engaged. And 95,000 personnel will be engaged. So around 1.5 lakh votes have to come through the postal ballot. That we have not done a good job last time, they say. So we are trying to do a better job this time. 1.5 lakh vote missing is a problem.
Chief Commissioner, sir, with your permission, I need to make an announcement. We have a statutory.
I have spoken for 1 hour, sir.
Kind of you, sir. You have all the energy.
25 minutes.
So I need to make an announcement, sir, with your permission. 5 o'clock is our management committee meeting.
Yeah, please. Correct.
Now this is adjourned by 30 minutes. So kindly, or permission. So you can continue.
I stopped your recording.
So I have an observation, sir. The IPL matches are going on at the moment, and Bangalore has a couple of matches in Chinnaswamy Stadium.
Yeah.
And can we use that platform because most of the
I told them. I spoke. I wrote to the CEO of the IPL and all that. I have done. Hemang somebody and all that. So they said that we are displaying it inside in the intermission and before 7 p.m. Inside they are doing and outside also they are displaying.
If the announcements can be made between those overs, because most of the crowd are.
They don't want to do that. That is the problem. They are saying we have already given all that rights. We can't do that. But we can, for you, before 7 a.m. we will do. And after in the intermission, they will keep on playing something.
If not, then most of the crowd is basically youngsters.
Yeah, but at least they agreed. This is the first time they agreed. Outside and inside, they are putting to go inside, you will find.
Amitji, as you know, people, very few people go to watch the match. They're actually enjoying differently. I don't think these announcements are going to make much of a difference. That's my understanding.
I get it. I'll tell you, give an example. Day before yesterday, a couple of days back, I was crossing at around 4 o'clock from the airport. Can you believe it? The whole stadium was full.
That's full. And
4 o'clock in the morning.
People are standing in long queues to get the IPL ticket.
Yeah. That's the craze, and the stadiums are full completely all the time.
You are right.
Instead, have a polling station there.
One more area is the malls, city malls.
So we are doing our sweep. You can see our. We have done a lot of malls. We are playing our skits there.
Fantastic.
We didn't play skit because it is a closed and it is more on a discussion type of platform now. Otherwise, wherever I go, our team is coming and they are doing a play of a skit. Others are also doing a
metro stations.
Metro stations. Yeah.
Also where the crowd.
Metro stations, we have the announcement that comes.
Already Metro has agreed to put advertisement at their cost.
It's already put.
So Metro, BMTC, Papa, they are running short of money, so they have said no, we will. So I am giving them money and then putting our slogans.
Can on the day of the polling, given that metro runs from east to west and north to south, there's so many stations, and each of these booths basically represents one of those stations. For people who travel, in case we provide the analytics in terms of what kind of voting has happened till about.
We can do that.
Because there will be people traveling. So people, when they travel, in case they belong to an area and they know that the voting area is less, they can make them.
Our voting percentages, of course, they are now coming faster, but it takes some time with a lag. We can display up to this, what has happened, up to this, what has happened. They can do that.
Yes.
There is a, of course, announcement screen, etc. is there.
Right.
That can be used. All their screen they are displaying or not? This
They are
Bharat
displaying inside the
Bharat and railway platform.
Yes, sir. But the only thing is it doesn't have a sound.
Sound issue.
So these moving banners they're displaying and between they're announcing that May 10th is the election date. Everyone please come out and.
Come out and
What is because that screen has no sound. Okay.
Sir, inside the metro, they is getting announced. What I thought was in case during the metro.
I don't understand. During the voting,
yes.
What is the percentage if you keep on showing?
Absolutely.
Like COVID times, the mobile phones were getting that vaccination drive. Before the ringtone comes, is it possible? So that is very, very effective.
Yeah, we have written actually. We have written to Ramana Reddy sir, our IT, ACS, etc. to give them directions. It has not happened. That the ring.
This is very, very effective.
Compulsory ring and all that. It was there.
Compulsory ring on this. This would be very powerful.
Yeah.
Sir, I have a thought.
Yeah.
Considering the
So what happened? Just 1 minute. We have written one letter now. What happened to that? Follow it up with Ramana sir. Huh? We were also asked the deputy commissioner for the cable TVs. That they have started doing something. And theatre. The cable TV and this we have to do.
Sir, with the heat.
I have to go and see a movie to find out whether it is happening.
Sir, with the heat wave warning, is it wise to close the voting by 6 or do you want to extend it further?
No, the time has been decided by them. They themselves look into all this and maybe may extend or may not extend. I don't know, but to comment on that.
Okay.
They take a call.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
With this, we are.
I request Dr. Ravindra, President, BCIC, hand over memento to Mr. Tushar.
अब दिया ना ये
नहीं ये तो कुछ नहीं है सर ये होगा मनी
मीटिंग होने के बाद
ये मनी प्लांट इज डिफरेंट फ्रॉम दिस
I request Mr. T.R. Parasuraman, past president, BCIC, hand over memento to this.
Thank you very much.
Yes, I request Mr. B.C. Prabhakar to hand over memento to Mr. Ravindra. So. I request Dr. Costa to hand over memento to Ms. Pallavi.
No, we are not. Thank you. Even ourselves, go and fetch the place. Private, not allowed.
Sir, please move, sir. You also join.
Very bad.
We will both click on. Yeah.
I request Mr. Narasimha Nakshasri to hand over memento to Mr. Siddeshwar.
Yes, sir.
Siddeshwar.
So we are writing letter to you and giving it to
Please, sir.
right now.
Order pass.
Order pass.
Junior.
Rahul, please have some snacks. Sir,
Health conscious.
So just for snacks, I think all of you should take.
Group photo.
Carriage,
I request Mr. Parashuraman to.
Friday.
Okay, good evening all. First of all, on behalf of Bangalore Chamber of Industry and Commerce, we extend our heartfelt thanks to Sri Tushar ji and the entire team for really sharing the great insight about these elections and really appreciate his time and his sense of creating that awareness. In fact, he started with getting the feedback session first. He did not talk. I think that shows how much he's carrying. And I think even this session was very, very value adding to all our members.
All your letters.
Sir, and we appreciate the action also. I'm sure, Tushar Girinath, that will be fully with you, sir.
My gratitude to the BCIC, and I'm very sure that we will all be participating in this try to
Join us for us.
see that.
Have a small
Group photo, please. Group is. Join us, please come, pass. Hey, Oni. Join us. Come pass.
Taking interest and asking us to come and.
Now this time the vote.
Schedule, you really.
This address will push the voting percentage to 10% minimum. 10%. 65 is what I'm looking for. 90 later.
Cross 70.
90 is next time. You want 90.
If you all work together, yes.
Bilkul, sir.
Revolution.
So this is the appeal letter given by.
Okay.
Ready? Sir, so please cast your votes first. Minimum 4 per family. Take your neighbors along also.
All members, yeah. Not
Take your neighbors and I'll help them cast vote also.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Dhanyawad, sir.
Sir, you should have. They are all tall fellows, no problem. We are short.
How many candidates?
So that is why I get. Thank you.
Join to high tea now.
I will take my. You take